Hello everyone. So this tutorial is designed to introduce you about AutoCAD and how do we install AutoCAD. Now the next tutorial that we will be sending you would be about how to work with AutoCAD software. So AutoCAD is a software and you might have used a general software tool um, as computer games, applications like WhatsApp, and so many applications uh, in your mobile cell phones. So also you might have done some kind of transactions with an ATM machine. So for example, what you do, how do you interact with these softwares? So when you go to an ATM machine, you will have a card and you will swipe it in the card reader, and then it will ask you what do you want to do, whether it is withdrawal, deposit, or transfer of the money, and then you will suppose choose withdraw of the money, and then it will ask you what is the amount that you want to withdraw, and so on till you get the money out of the ATM. So what you observe in any software is there is an interaction between you and the software, or I can say that there is a dialogue between you and the software. So how do we represent this dialogue? So there is an input from your end and there is an output from the software side, and again there is an input based on the result that it shows previously. Again you will give another input and then there is an output till you finish off your job, right? So one way to see this is a software could be seen as a black box. There is an input from your side and that input is processed and an output is generated. Now there could be multiple inputs and multiple outputs like an ATM. It is like a dialogue. You give one input, then there is an output, then there is an input and there is an output. So it can go in a sequential way. But we are not aware how internally it is working, so that's where how a software works internally is could be viewed as a black box. Okay, so when it comes to softwares like AutoCAD, now one way to think is, okay, I have done manual drawing in engineering drawing sheet. Now one way my perspective is, okay, whatever I do in engineering drawing sheet would be done in the AutoCAD software. So again, if you use the previous black box model, the way you can see it is there is an AutoCAD which looks like a black box, and there will be input from my end. The input could be in terms of points, lines, faces, curves, and there will be some output that will be displayed corresponding to what input I am giving. So it will display the points, display the lines, display the faces, display the solids. So this is how you will have a view, because as you are working in engineering drawing sheet, you will have a view. This is how the software will work. Of course this is how it will work, but there is more than that. But before that, let's see this display part. Now when it displays a line or a circle or a disk, then how does it display it? What it does is, if you take the computer screen, it is made up of pixels. Now pixels could be seen as set of grids, the grids that you see in the chessboard, square grids in your chessboard. It is like that only. So a typical screen will consist of rectangular, not rectangular exactly, but it is a square grids, we call them pixels. Now if you want to sketch a disk, then what exactly happens? All the pixels which lies inside the disk are turned in black color, and the grids or the squares which or pixels which lies outside the disk are turned white. So they are turned black and white based on where the grid is located or pixel is located. And this is how it will look like if your computer screen is of assume 10 by 10 pixels. This is how a disk will look like. But if you increase the resolution or number of pixels, then the disk will appear like this, much more smoother. But if you increase it further, 30 by 30, and this is how the disk will appear. So this is how the display of a typical disk will look like. Now your computer screen will be more than this is very small number. It will be 2000 by 1000, and it is also rectangular screen, so it will be something like 2000 by 1000. So these kind of staircase that you see here will not appear to us, but it exists when you just sometimes go to your screen and just, and there is a black box. How does it render is something out of scope. There is lot of mathematical tool and electronic system to generate such kind of system. So as I say, AutoCAD is more than display. So what exactly we do here? Now your inputs could be not only points, lines, but it could be circles, it could be surfaces. The one you are seeing, that is a surface, right? This is the surface. Then there could be the solids. You want to construct a 3D solid. Suppose you want to build the chair and table within the AutoCAD. Okay. You want to generate projections. Projections you have already seen, you have done that. That is possible. You want to cut and section the solid and view its internal details, or you want to combine multiple entities. For example, you can even construct a scene of a room containing lot of objects with all kind of lightning, coloring, and all kind of luminescence. So you can have a lot of wish list for yourself, and it is supposed to assist you in that process and generate the desired results that you want. Now again, AutoCAD can be seen as black box, but it is equipped with lot of algorithms and mathematical models. So you see here, the first you have drawn a base, and then you are interacting with your mouse and trying to skirt, I will say skirting the way potter skirt some pot while it generates a pot, right? You're doing some kind of skirting with this kind of AutoCAD tools. So also you observe there is a frequent dialogue between you and the AutoCAD, right? And that's the way to see these softwares. Now coming to, you can do a lot with AutoCAD, but it is still out of scope. In fact, anything in the real life could be modeled and analyzed in the softwares like AutoCAD. So you see the reciprocating motion here, and you have the cylinders here, and they are rotating. So you could develop such kind of mechanisms and test whether it will work correctly in the real life or not. So you can do collision detection here, you can check the clearance, and whole lot of queries required for a mechanism. A general machine could be of multiple components. A typical, if you see an automobile parts, there are thousands of parts, and it's difficult in real life to disassemble and see each part and analyze it. So best way to learn about each component and about each specification is to disassemble them in the virtual mode and analyze each of them, what fits into what, and understands various constraints. So those are the 3D models which are out of scope for this. Now we'll go ahead and focus on drafting process. So before going to drafting process, we'll go to and install the AutoCAD. Let us introduce you with a brief history of AutoCAD software. So AutoCAD initial release came out in December 1982. So it's almost Yeah, it is long time, and it is also available in native languages. So if there are Japanese, you can have a Japanese version. If it is German or French, then you can have it. People can work in their native languages. Just to tell you this, okay, AutoCAD. So what was the motivation for developing this software? So some part you know, but the main motivation for AutoCAD or softwares like that, in fact, started people started thinking of having drafting tools like this. In fact, from World War II. So you will be surprised, in World War II there was no computer, but there was an idea. So in World War II, what was happening in Britain? There was heavy bombing by Germans, and there was a fear that because of bombing they may lose all the engineering drawing that they have on the, or the blueprint of uh, all the planes and the ships that was available with them might get destroyed. And if the blueprint is destroyed for all their planes and ships, then they will be in trouble because they cannot create any new or produce any new ship or aeroplanes, so all their knowledge is gone. So that was the fear in Britain people uh, during World War II. And as soon as the computer came into picture post World War, and then all of a sudden the first thing they started thinking is how to archive or save these drawings, design drawings. So they started having these drawings into the kind of interface provided by these computers, and they were stored in earlier times in different kind of hard disks like magnetic tapes or all those other components, and they started having multiple copies. So the idea was to save all their intellectual property. So that's where the interest in design started. The main idea was to save it and retrieve your design whenever required. Now in 1956 or 57 something, like, there was an interest in automating whole design process. So when we say automating or automation of design, what does it mean is you have only one input and you get whole design as an output. So, but it didn't go successful. It is not possible even today. So what was the conclusion in 1950s or 1960s? The conclusion was you cannot automate design, but what you can do, you can aid the designer through the computers. You cannot automate design through computers, but you can aid the designers through computers, and that's where the field of computer aided design came into picture. Yeah, so that was in 1960s, and from that time the things started. We were able to do things with points and lines and creating wireframes in 60s 70s era, and after 70s to 80s we were becoming good with constructing surfaces, 3D surfaces in computer, and by the time we hit around 80s we were also able to use these surfaces to construct the 3D models. And that's where once these 3D models started, of course lot other things started coming into picture. But the early adapters of computer aided design were shipbuilding industries and aerospace industries. Of course automobile parts also came into, but these were ships and aeroplanes were having the most impact or influence from this kind of computer aided design. So let us come to installation process of AutoCAD. So what you need to do is So for AutoCAD, the student version comes for free. Now, as soon as you come here, then you see student and education software. Then there is something like Autodesk student community and so on. So what I would suggest, just go here, student and education software. Now once we come to this picture, what you see is unlock educational access to Autodesk products. Now Autodesk is having multiple products, but what we need, and then you see all the products here, and there is a Tinkercad, Fusion 360. These are different products. Now there is a AutoCAD and there is AutoCAD for Mac. So we are interested for Windows. So let us go with AutoCAD Windows, and you will see a lot of other packages available. You need not to worry about them. Just go with that. So get started. You click on this. Then it will ask you to sign in with your email. If you are new to Autodesk, you have to create the account. So you have to, so I would suggest you create the account and then log in into this website. So you create the account, click on create account, get education benefits. So what it says is Autodesk offer free software to eligible students, educators and institutions. So be prepared to provide the proof of enrollment or employment at qualified educational institutions. So first it asks for country, territory or region of. What you do is you type here, list of countries are there. Just go to India. Then education role. So you are a student. Institution type. You are in university. Then you can put some date of birth. So let's keep this. Now here you can keep your name. Okay, so let me just put my name, first name, last name. Then I created a new email ID to try out this tutorial. So my email ID is, you can put your personal email ID, Gmail ID. Okay, so this is the mail ID. Then you confirm your mail ID and then the password. So this is the password with which you will log in into the AutoCAD Autodesk website. So this could be very different. The password that you use for your email, it need not to be the same. And then you say I agree with the Autodesk terms of uses, and then you create the account. Okay, now what it says is you have registered to Autodesk with your email ID. Okay, so what it says is you need to verify it. Check your inbox and follow the link in the email to verify your account. So AutoCAD wants you to check your email that will verify your registration with AutoCAD. Okay. So go to your email ID with which you have logged in. So I logged in with my this email ID and I see the message like this: AutoCAD verify your Autodesk account. Now when you open it, you see please complete your Autodesk account by confirming your email address. Then you click on verify email. If this link does not work, you can copy this URL or this link to the here and then verify. So I'm going to click on verify email. It opens new tab and it says account is verified. And then what you have to do is you have to say done, so that it directs you to the new page. Now once you say done, it is asking you which institute you are working, so you can just keep NIT Warangal, it is there. And then you can keep engineering and construction, enrolled from. So I think you will be in July, August, or yeah, November, I guess. And just give some 4 years from here. Just I will put randomly here. Your account is now updated to access the Autodesk education community. Okay. Okay, so it has redirected to same web page, but it is now able to recognize you. So this is me, hi Gaurav, and then you see there is, you are registered with their web page. Now again it has shown the same product, all products. Now we are interested in AutoCAD. Go there, go to this link, and then this is email ID which is already registered. Just confirm it. Now please upload a copy of the documentation issued to you by your institute. You have 14 days to upload your document, so it could be, you can just keep the JPEG of your ID card here and upload it. Okay, so just I will browse, and then I will take something about ID card, and then you submit it. Then it says the process to verify your eligibility has now started. The verification can take up to 48 hours. Please check your email for next steps. Close it. You will get the another mail. One was about verify your account, another will be, and what it says is you are eligible for 1 year education access to Autodesk. Now this can also be renewed after 1 year, and that's not a problem. Now what it says is to use any of the product for education community, click on this get product. Now as soon as you go to the get product window, then is refreshing. So what you see is that get started has been replaced by get product. Now you are eligible to download all these products, get products. So what you do is click on this get product, and then what it shows, this is Windows and this is 2021, this is English, and then installation. I think you can just download from here itself, choose this install process, or you can download the link that is given, that will show you in a time. So once you do install, it will download the exe file. Now this exe file is typically in your download folder. If you go here, you can launch the exe file in your download folders, or you can launch from here itself. Run this exe. It will ask you to allow installation of components from Autodesk. It has started setting up. Now it asks you which is the root directory where you want to install. So this is by default C drive program files. Make sure the place you are installing it has around 3.17 GB. Okay, so what comes now is you have successfully installed the selected product. Now for your current display scale set at 150%, AutoCAD requires 1536 or higher to run. This is your AutoCAD 2021. Okay, now just log in. Okay, so it asks you to log in with your credentials, and now you can do all your drawing here. Okay, and whatever you do, please ensure you save them. So we'll go through detailed tutorial, and you can exit from here or you can exit by this. Click on AutoCAD and then just close it. So it asks you whether you want to save it. So for now I say no, and you can close this whole window. Now AutoCAD can be accessed. What you do is press your window keys, type AutoCAD, and it will be accessible to you through here. AutoCAD 2021, open. Or it can also create the shortcut for you like this, and I just close this. You can launch from Windows or you can launch from the shortcut that it created. So this is the shortcut in the desktop. You can just launch it in this way. So that's all about installation. You get the immediate email. There is no need of verification. So I received this email about education access to a Autodesk product just 5 minutes once I verified my account. Okay. So you don't have to wait for 48 hours that it mentions in the link.